Welcome back to The Void, where a couple youth pastors talk about anything and everything faith-related, not faith-related. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brennan.
And welcome back to episode 7?
7, I think it is.
Number 7? Dang, man.
Can you believe we started this and we're 7 episodes in now?
Well, it's funny. It feels like we're 50 episodes in just because we do one a week.
Right.
But, I feel like I'm already a podcast veteran. I know everything there is to know about podcasts.
What a lot of people probably won't know is, or maybe not even care, are all of the things that we thought about talking about, but we decided not to talk about.
Yeah. That is what's key. It is crazy to think like, and the amount of times we've had like a last minute audible too.
Yeah.
Or like you'll come in and say, I thought we'd talk about this, and I'm like, all right, okay, and then we do it. Like, yeah, that is crazy. But there's also about 100 things that, like, I speak for you too, that I want to talk about. Like, it's just, we only have 25 minutes. Maybe we should do like just go full Rogan and just have 3-hour episodes.
It wasn't until this past week that I realized his podcasts were over 3 hours.
Yeah, dude. Most of them were like 3 or more.
This was the first thought I had. How do you talk to somebody for 3.5 hours?
I don't know, man. Well, the thing about his podcast though is those guys, they've all got, PhDs and so many years of experience. They also all have like niches. Like me and you, like we don't, we ain't lived enough life to talk for 3 hours about like.
He's also an expert at asking questions.
He really
and
is,
just
dude.
barely knowledgeable about literally every field to be able to carry a conversation.
Yeah, no, he is so good at being like, I know a little bit enough to hold a conversation, but he's not afraid to be like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I want someone to put together a compilation of him being like, what does that mean? Or he just asks those follow-up questions.
He represents everybody that listens.
Yeah, and what's hard about me and you is that neither of us are experts at anything, so we don't have that. We couldn't even make a 3-hour episode.
And nobody's here to say, clarify that, or what does that mean?
Exactly. We need to like hire a questions person.
Right. If we get it, then we just keep going.
Yeah. What's trending on Twitter today?
Yeah, I saw you opening it up, popping over there.
Dude, Depp versus Heard. I just told you this before we started shooting. I'm so annoyed with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing. I don't. Maybe you can help me. I don't understand the public interest. What is it?
So here's what I could deduce from like 5 minutes of listening. That it was this big. Actually, I'm not even going to attempt to do that because a lot of people are going to be like, no, that's not false. But here's what I do know. That it was an issue with domestic violence.
Abuse, right. She hit him or he hit her or something,
in which there was a divorce that was filed, lawsuit was filed, large amount of money was given and then pledged to do X, Y, and Z. Mm. The defense has been adamant that has not been the case when it comes to the money being spent. So I know that's all I know of the case.
Yeah, but see, like, I don't care about that though. Well, and that's my question is like, and I know she like pooped on his bed or whatever. Did you hear that?
I did not.
Dude,
I'm glad I didn't hear that.
I've heard that on TikTok. Apparently she like pooped on his bed and blamed it on the dog. I don't know. I'm just seeing little bits. I couldn't know less about this case, but my thing is like why, and maybe we can talk about like celebrity influence or craze or whatever. This is a domestic violence or a divorce case or whatever. Why is like the whole nation like picking sides? Dude, I've seen people that are like, oh, look at the way Amber walks out. Her and Ben exchange looks. And I'm like, who's Ben? Like
people get infatuated with celebrity trials.
Why? I don't understand. That's what I'm saying.
It's been trending for weeks.
Yeah.
I've heard multiple people. I will not name them on this podcast, but I've heard multiple people talk about the free time that's coming up in the next few days for them, and they say, I'm free for this amount of times. That'll give me time to catch up on the trial.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I've heard multiple people say that. I've seen multiple people share that on social media. Like, just sitting here enjoying a nice, Saturday catching up on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what it is about celebrities. And I know some people have more of a like, Patrick, my friend Patrick, I make fun of him all the time. He's probably listening to this. He's going to get mad at me. But he's not like a fanboy or anything like that. But we watch a movie a half an hour after the movie's over, he knows all the actors and actresses' names. He knows where they grew up. He can tell you every movie they've been in. Like, he just gets in it. And, you know, he's, like I said, he's not like a fanboy or anything like that. But I wonder what it is about celebrities. I mean, I'm more inclined to have skin in the game if it's like someone I know.
Right.
But like Johnny Depp,
yeah,
who is that guy? I mean, I know that he was in Pirates of the Caribbean,
right.
but like, what does he mean to me? Yeah, right.
I think the only thing that people, or the only reason that people get really involved with stuff like this, is because it helps them attach humanity to these celebrities. So it's like, oh, you know, they are a real person, which means if I'm informed about these things, then I actually have a better understanding of who this person is.
So you think it's like a chase to understand like the human behind like the celebrity?
Yeah, it's the same reason people, Patrick. No, I'm speaking for Patrick.
Right.
But it's the same reason anybody would be like, oh, let me find out where they're from.
Yeah.
How they were raised. You know, how did they get to where they are? I want to know more about this person that I'm attracted to. So
where do you fall on that? Because I've always been on one extreme side of the spectrum of like not caring, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, oh yeah, I care less. I legitimately don't. Like, I've been at I work at Gaylord Springs in Nashville, and at the golf course, I guess because it's so associated with the Grand Ole Opry, or it's like the nicest public course in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah,
famous people come there all the time.
Yeah,
and like, it's cool.
Yeah,
but like, you know, Dennis Quaid's come there, Jim Furyk's come there.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Dyson, you know, all those guys, like a bunch of ex-football players. And I'm like, cool, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it was someone that was, like, really important to me, like if, you know, Vody Bakum came to Gaylord, I'd be like, dude, I love your, like, sermons or whatever.
You are so lame.
Dude, I would get hype if it's somebody that meant something to me. But, you know, I literally played golf with, I don't even remember his name, the guy from, I just, like, saw a guy playing on the tee box, and I worked there, so I like bounced around a little bit. And I was like, "Hey, you care? I'll play with you." It was me and my dad, and they were like, "No, go ahead." So we played with them, and I said, "What do you do?" He's like, "I do a little bit of music stuff." And I was like, "Okay, cool, whatever."
What that means.
You know, yeah. And so we're talking, and we played, you know, the whole round together. I was like, "It's good to meet you, man." I was like, his name was Tyler. He was like, you know, I was like, "See you later, man." He's like, "Man, it was good. We talked a little bit. It was cool." And then we left, and one of our pass holders just comes running out to me in the parking lot, and is like, "Dude, did you just play golf with Tyler from FGL?" I was like, I don't know what FGL is.
Oh, Hubbard.
He was, I guess. He was like, "Tyler from Florida Georgia Line? You just played golf with that guy." And I was like, oh, sweet. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And I know and I think, not that I'm in no way suggesting that like I'm better than everybody or like everyone else is lame, but I know that legitimately for someone else, that could have like made their life.
Yeah.
You know, but I've never, ever understood that. I just don't share that. So, like, you know, I don't know. What part of the brain is that, I guess?
I'm with you.
Are you that way, too?
I'm that way. I'm not the person that, like, overcorrects and is going to be like, you know, why is the people, which is kind of funny, but the people that get mad when people buy pro athlete jerseys, and it's like, how is a 35-year-old man going to wear the name of another 20-year-old kid on his back? You know, grow up, sir, or whatever. Right. No, support your team, whatever. So I'm not saying, like, you know, bring them down to a level of humanity that you can understand. I think for me, though, it is like, I am going to recognize that they are just people.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
You know, I've gotten to meet some heroes. You know, I made fun of you for Vody, but the guys that I would probably, you know, be like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so, are people that are doing stuff for the church.
Right.
Pastors, worship leaders, things of that nature. And I've gotten to meet a couple of them. And the thought has always crossed my mind the moment I see them in the room is, I am not going to be the guy that asked him for a picture.
Absolutely.
I'm just not going to be that. One, how annoying would that be? Two, they're a person.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's refreshing, too, for a lot of them. I think that
and I will go up to them and say, you know, hey, so and so, my name is Brennan. I just want to let you know, whether it was something that they wrote that I read,
Yeah.
their ministry, their music or something. I just want you to know that affected me, or that challenged me, that encouraged me. I really love that. Just want you to know, thank you for what you've deposited into the local church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Right.
If I have like a pointed question that, the moment seems like it's appropriate to ask a question, then I'll ask a question that's not like, controversial, but it's like, okay, if I have 30 seconds with the hero of the faith for me, what am I going to ask them? And what is something that I can gain from it? So I guess for like celebrity culture, some people may listen and be like, well, ministers are not celebrities, so
Yeah.
but even with some of the like quote unquote celebrities that I have been in the same room with, I've had the same thought, like I'm not gonna ask for a picture, and if for whatever, I'm not gonna go across the room to say something to them. But if we're shoulder to shoulder and we just turn and like they're right there, I'm gonna try to treat them as another human being.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point too, especially like when you want to say something to them. And you also, even someone like me, you can't deny that some people just have more influence than others. Like
Yeah.
Me versus John MacArthur, who's written like 80 books or whatever. We're not like, there's a certain amount of pedigree there. So
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna say like, oh, who the heck is LeBron James? This is just another person. No, I mean he is like one of the greatest athletes of all time. I get that, but man, back to the jerseys. I hope nobody says that because I got all Grizzlies jerseys.
Dude,
I
I've
got
heard that
Desmond
so
Bane.
much.
I got John. I got Jaren Jackson, which that'd be cool. Like a team, like I'm like a huge Grizzlies fan. I grew up watching them, and I got to sit courtside and like got to like high five like Marc Gasol and like all these guys, which was cool. But that I feel like if somebody means something to you, maybe it's a little different. Like if your life was changed by one of their books, like you grew up listening to their music, that'd be cool. But even then, I mean, it's just I feel like it would be so hard to be a celebrity.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was one pastor that I was in the same room with him. It was at this like pastor's luncheon thing that honestly have no idea how I got in this room. I should not have been in this room. And if I told you some of the names of the celebrities in this room, I should not have been in this room. They should have stopped me at the door and said, "Sir, you are lost." But somehow me and the two other people I was with, we found our way in this room. And we all had this collective shared experience where we looked around once we got to the doors and saw who we were looking at. We're like, I think we're lost.
Yeah.
But there was a pastor in this room that I literally had the opportunity to walk up to. And it was that of, I just want you to know you've changed my life.
Yeah.
And so if it is somebody meaningful like that, I don't see a problem in that. But it's not like, I'd buy the jersey.
Right, yeah.
I'd rep the jersey proud.
Yeah, I do think there's definitely it definitely can become like idolatry, kind of quick. Like, and my dad hates when people like call celebrities by their first names. He can't stand that. I'm like, the Johnny and Amber trial. He's like, Johnny and Amber, really? Are they your friends? Like, he can't stand that. So there is a lot of that culture going on of like idolizing celebrities and like wishing to be like them and all that. But
Yeah.
I just don't understand it, man. And this trial is just, it bamboozles me because I'm
Yeah.
like, I may read about like the verdict,
Right.
if it pops up, but like, people are like knowing like his lawyer is like famous now. I've seen TikToks where people are like line up to take pictures with his lawyer, and I'm like, this is like a random guy. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Just a random lawyer.
Well, I mean, every trial has been like that. And we're 14 minutes in, we're still talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial.
Right.
But every celebrity trial has been like that. It was, I remember nobody had a clue. And if you're under the age of 18 listening to this podcast, you're definitely not going to know who I'm talking about. But nobody had a clue who Oscar Pistorius was. Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Yeah.
They maybe if you watch Cat Williams, you knew who he was. But he goes on that public trial. His name's trending. People were watching the Pistorius trial.
Just because he was there.
But before Twitter, there was OJ. It's the OJ trial. I mean, like America. I'm not gonna say people. America is infatuated with celebrities on trial. Maybe it's because they want to see them fall. I don't know.
You know my hot take?
What's your hot take?
OJ didn't do it.
That's not a hot take.
Is it not?
No, he was innocent.
I mean, but everybody still like knows he did it though. I mean, or at least thinks he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't know about that.
dude, there's a lot of documentaries out there that are fun to watch.
Oh, for sure.
Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. What else is trending? Is it anything significant?
Well, that's completely insignificant. And that's number one. So, who knows what else is trending?
Taiwan. We don't want to go there.
Why not?
Because I think me and you and 3 other people would actually care about foreign policy.
Right.
But stay tuned. That is a major development.
Oh, what? Monkeypox. Yo, what's going on with that?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like apparently, I mean, this is monkeypocalypse. I just saw it. My dad's been talking about it. It's like this new, apparently, it's like the new COVID. It's like this new disease.
Monkeypocalypse.
That's like coming in hot.
Basically. Are we going to get shadow banned for saying monkeypocalypse?
I think it's too early for that.
Okay.
If we say like, if we start talking about like at home treatments for monkeypox, we probably will be. But no, it's like apparently this new disease that's like coming in hot, and it like originated in Europe somehow, and now it's like booming, and there's already like a case like up north, and so now it's like I've talked to some people who are like COVID hysteria all over again. So that would suck. Oh, that would suck. We finally get out of COVID, finally get to the point to where people still care and like COVID's still a thing, but like finally get to the point to where it doesn't affect day to day, and then freaking monkeypox coming. Yeah, what I don't know if it like comes from monkeys or what, but that's gonna stink, dude. And I also think that if monkeypox, however bad it is, I think that us being so close to COVID is going to totally affect how we handle it. I mean, we're going to just go above and beyond to like way overreact just because we're fresh off of COVID.
Dude, we were talking about this inside of the context of the church yesterday. But
me and you?
Me and you. You're going to know what I'm talking about when we get there. But I think we could say that about all subcultures.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Dude, life is 1,000% just about banging up against the side, the guardrails of the left and the right side. Not just left and right politically, but, play it safe, overreact. Play it safe, overreact.
Yeah. I agree.
And dude,
that's so true.
And I really do think we are only at the beginning stages of how that's going to play out in response to stuff like outbreaks.
Yeah. Well, I agree 100%. Well, even if you look at it like politically, if you have a Democrat president that does something horrible, or have a really bad term, then people vote like pretty overwhelmingly Republican. Same thing, vice versa. If you have a Republican that like does something crazy or like no one likes, it's always we're just constantly overcorrecting because we have recency bias. I mean, we're going to look back in the last 10, 20 years. No one's going to actually look back and say, all right, let's look at the history of diseases over the past 3,000 years and try to figure out how to handle this. No, it's what do I remember about COVID and what do I not want to happen again?
Here's a question for you. Should young people be involved in politics? Informed.
Informed. I have a deep spiritual answer about this.
Okay.
You want me to answer from like a spiritual perspective?
Answer from any perspective.
No, I only have a spiritual perspective. So here's what I say. Yes, I think young people should be informed about everything. I'm Mr. Red Pill. I'm like, turn all the stones over, look under the rugs, understand the lingo, know what's going on. But also as a Christian and as a believer, the Bible's very clear on this. Your domain, the things you should be concerned about, is not of this world. So yes and no. Yes, I think it's good to be informed. But, and this may be a hot take. I'm sure someone's going to get mad about this. Man, I used to think about political, just take the voting, for example. I know it's because I'm young. I used to, I grew up being taught this, and I used to think, man, you absolutely have to vote. I don't care if it is the lesser of two evils. You need to go to the polls. You need to vote because it matters. But the more I see how divided people are politically, and the more I see how disconnected, especially American politics, are from the spiritual realm, from God, I'm like, man, our emphasis as young believers should not be of this world. So should young people be informed about politics? Absolutely. Should they just make a career out of it and eat, sleep, and breathe American politics? Not at all.
Okay. Interesting.
That's my answer to that. Is
Interesting.
Being informed is always good. I mean,
Yeah.
Paul talks about that when he in the Bible when he went to different areas in 1 Corinthians where he said, I became parts of like the culture that I was in. He talks about going to different people and understanding their culture and like becoming one of them.
Yeah.
I think that's great. You can't be that hippie that's like, nah, dude, I don't pay attention to politics, man. Like, well, you live in the country and it's important for you to have an opinion.
Yeah.
So informed, yes.
Yeah.
Super passionate and picking a bunch of hills to die on, I'd say no.
Yeah. I think maybe it's Acts 17 in Athens when his like opening address to the Athenian people is in regards.
You're the Acts expert here.
Oh, we're in bad shape if I'm the resident Acts scholar. But I think it's either in 17 or somewhere in Acts. But he actually addresses his goal is to get to the nature of the gospel. But he addresses them starting off with the components of their culture. Like he talks about how, wonderful their architecture is and things of that nature. But like you're saying, I think there is an element there. It's like if you don't know a little bit about what's going on around you, I would actually say a lot what's going on around you, then not only can you not be effective, but you're also ignorant.
Right.
And to answer my own question, I've been shocked recently how little people are willing to investigate the facts on their own.
So true.
And I would encourage young people before you take a political stance, a theological stance, do your own homework. Yeah. Like I think about some of the hot button things right now. In our world, it's a report that was released this weekend. Many people are going to look at what the bloggers are saying about the report, but not read the report. Yeah. I think about Roe v. Wade. Mm-hmm. People are going to look at what Twitter says about the ramifications of Roe v. Wade, but they don't know what the court ruled in Roe v. Wade. Absolutely. You can go down the political spectrum. The Don't Say Gay bill, the Heartbeat bill. Yep. All of these things that people are causing people to riot or be upset. A lot of people aren't just read it. Yeah. Yeah. Read it and make your own judgment. God gave you a brain, whether or not you believe in Him. He gave you a brain to read and use. I mean, common sense. Yep. And I think that's part of the slide here is we're seeing a generation that is more active, more into activism than previous generations, maybe. That could be a hot take. I'll stick with it. It's true. It's statistically true. More into activism, but is not as willing to do the research on their own. Yeah. So I'm all for stand up for what you believe in. Right. But be concrete and know the facts on what you believe in and why. Yeah. So I didn't mean to go on a rant there. No, I love that. But it's that's kind of the nature of it.
Well, and as a conspiracy theorist, this is what I always come back to. But you're exactly right. And when what you're saying about young people being informed, or people being informed in general about a stance, when that doesn't happen, now you've got the media controlling the narrative. Now you've got the media telling people what to think. This is why the right and the left have a monopoly on 92, 93% of the country. Yeah. Like when someone says I'm center, okay, that's great, but you most likely vote the same way all the time. Yeah. This political spectrum of two ideas has a monopoly. We're not allowed to think outside of your party. You're not allowed to think critically. You're not allowed to research anything. And I think that There's always way more under the surface. The media is like,
Yeah.
it's not even like the spark notes. It's the biased spark notes. There's all this going on, like this news cycle, this life, or whatever. You got all these different books. And what the media does, whether it's Twitter or Fox News, CNN, or whatever,
Yeah.
is gather it all up and say, here's what we think you should take away from all this.
Yeah.
You know? And
Well, a great example. I actually sent you the screenshot. Friday night,
oh my gosh.
ESPN pushes a notification out to everybody that has the ESPN app, and here's the headline: Tiger Woods shoots. What did he shoot that day? I think 69 on Friday. Tiger Woods shoots 1 under on day 2 of the PGA Championship to finish at +3 for the weekend, putting him 12 shots behind the leader.
Yeah. And just to kind of dumb that down if you don't know golf, that's like the person, and he's like in 80th place.
Yes.
And that's the push notification they send out.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Tiger Woods is so popular, he increases engagement. Tiger Woods, people don't understand like why ESPN or SportsCenter, all these posts make the posts they make, because it maximizes engagement. So Tiger Woods, he's good for the algorithm. Everything that Tiger's face, his name is on, maximizes engagement.
Yeah.
So that's what they give you.
Yeah.
You don't even know who the leader is. You don't even know who's in second, third place. You only get what they want you to get to maximize their engagement.
You could read that notification and easily think, Tiger's in the hunt.
Yep, which is exactly what they want you to think. So you'll watch it. Exactly right,
So,
dude.
but
Yeah, 100%, man. I agree. It's do your own research. Stop watching the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial and read a freaking book, and do something with your life.
yeah, come talk to us. We're experts.
Yeah, 100%. Ask me what I think, and I'm gonna tell you all that matters. Instead of letting the media decide for you, just let me decide for you. And I'll say this too: a lot of people out here still using shampoo, bro. I'm going through it.
Oh, you talking about shortage?
No, I didn't. I'm the no poo.
What are you talking about?
I told you that last night. I'm doing no poo, no shampoo. I didn't tell you that,
No, you did not.
dude. It's greasy.
No
Take a look at that.
shampoo?
Yeah. No
Why?
shampoo. Because it. So let me tell you how I found it. I'll tell you in like 2 minutes. There's a couple people I know that I've been doing like no shampoo, and I'm like, whatever. You freaking hippie. Okay, that's fine. But the more and more studies that come out, shampoo it's got like chemicals and detergents. Dude, it's killing people's hair. People go bald way sooner than they used to. People are losing hair health, like split ends, receding hairline, and all that stuff. And there's like this booming movement called no shampoo. It's like really popular right now, where like you don't use shampoo, you just do like water only. And the hard part is, for like 4 to 6 weeks, your hair is like greasy. Like mine is like greasy right now, because when you use shampoo and you scrub your hair with like soap or whatever, what you've been doing is you're stripping the natural oils, and you're stripping like the cleansing chemicals that you have naturally in your hair. So when you don't do shampoo, it takes your glands and your scalp a while to learn that back. But you should look it up. The people that are doing it, the results are crazy. Their hair looks so much better, so much smoother. You don't lose your hair when you get older, like the people that have been doing it for years. And when you really start looking into it, shampoo is the biggest scam ever when you start doing your research. I mean,
I don't know why I said like I know, but
no,
sure.
honestly, no.
Yeah.
Shampoo's only been around for like 80 years. Before that, people didn't wash their hair. I mean, you can look that up. People would do like...
But they also stunk.
Did they?
Pretty
How do you
sure.
know that?
It's like every piece of literature is like, yeah, in the old day, they didn't have as much access to water and, hygiene products, so they smelled terrible.
But my hair doesn't stink, though. Your hair doesn't stink. I mean, I wash it with water. I wash my hair. For anybody listening to this, I'm not disgusting. I don't stink. I take a shower, but I just don't use shampoo. And I'll use, like, what you're supposed to do, like conditioner every now and then, or even like some dry shampoo or coconut oil, because it didn't have the detergents and the chemicals. But, yeah, it's super good for your hair health. But what we know is shampoo. So you say, like, I'm not using shampoo. Oh, that's disgusting. Well, is it, though? Because for the past however old you think the earth is, like we were talking about yesterday, people have not been using shampoo. So now you have this new product that's like, use it every day. Used to, it was like once a month only. They only recommend it once a month. Now it's like every day, once every 2 days or whatever. But I'm going to do it and I'm going to see. But I have a hunch that it's legit. But I'll keep you keep you posted. But it's rough right now, dude. I'm like nappy and curly. But as soon as all that grease works out and my hair starts like actually growing again because the oils come back, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Let you know how it is.
Well, I think if you're listening still at this point, you got more than you bargained on this episode. But do you think shampoo is good for the scalp?
Do your research.
Do your research. Let us know a hot take you have. Here's something that we're going to do. We're in the process of making a few Void shirts for a giveaway we're doing at our youth ministry. But we are going to send one Void t-shirt to the most outlandish hot take that you can submit via comment, via DM. Tyler and I will pick which one makes us laugh the hardest, and we will send you a piece of Void merch. So thanks for listening to this week's episode of The Void, and we'll see you next week on the next episode.